Hi there, welcome to Ready Recipes at Education Futures Trust. I'm Ray, the nutritionist at EFT, and this week we are making lasagna. You can make meat lasagna, you can make a meat alternative with corn or something like that, or there's lots of plant-based mince and things around now, or you can make it with actual vegetables, which is what I'll be doing, but I'll talk you through the meat process as well. I've got one large onion, finely chopped. I've gone with a red one, just for a bit of colour there, but you can use a white one, any onion you've got, or a couple of smaller ones, no problem. I've got 3 cloves of garlic, which I've just finely chopped as well, and I'll be crushing that while the onions have their little first cook. 3 large mushrooms. I've got a courgette, which I've quartered, and I'm going to slice while the rest of everything's cooking. I've got a small aubergine as well, which I'll do the same, and a pepper and a half for a bit of colour. Or you can have 500 grams of mince or mince alternative. So I've got my pan on a medium-high heat. Get about a tablespoon of olive oil in there, or any oil you've got. And I'll pop my onion in. Just get that cooking away and soften down for sort of five or so minutes. The reason I use salt to crush the garlic in the tip of the knife is because salt's abrasive and it'll absorb the juices and the oils that come out the garlic. It tastes lovely. Right, you can turn your onion down if it starts to brown at all. Pop your garlic in after about 5 minutes. After another couple of minutes, you can add your veggies or your mince. Just let your mince brown off. Seal. Right, once your meat or your veggies have cooked a little bit, cooked out a little bit, you need to add a tin of tomatoes. Or you can add passata, if that's what you've got in. If you're adding dried herbs, add those at this stage. If you're adding fresh herbs, I suggest adding them at the end. A few tablespoons of tomato puree. If you're doing a meat one, you can also add a beef stock cube. I'm going to preheat my oven to gas mark 6, 180 for a fan oven, 200 for a normal. I'm going to get a pan on to make my cheese sauce. Right, don't want that on too high. Right, so now we'll do our nice bechamel cheesy sauce. Vegetables are cooking down nicely there. So I've got a pan on a medium-low heat. I've got 40 grams of butter, which is going to go in and start melting. And I've got 40 grams of flour. And I've got 100 grams of cheese. I've got cheddar and parmesan in there. You can just use cheddar, just use parmesan, or any strong hard cheese that you've got. And you need a pint of milk as well. When that butter's melted, we will add the flour, just a spoonful at a time, and whisk that in. So this is what the French call a roux. It's the basis for a lot of lovely sauces. So you don't want to let that flour burn. You need to cook it out a little bit, but don't let it burn. And then we start adding the milk. If you just let that warm for a second, it mixes better. So if you get any lumps, just keep whisking, making sure that's okay. Once all your milk's added, just bring that up to a simmer and it should thicken. But keep using your whisk across the bottom so that it doesn't get thick at the bottom and burn. The sauce will thicken once it gets up to temperature, and you can turn that down. And we'll just season that, bit of salt and some nice pepper. And I always put a little bit of mustard in. If you've got some mustard powder, you can put sort of 1/4 of a teaspoon in, or 1/2 teaspoon, whole teaspoon of fresh mustard like Dijon, or half if it's English mustard. Whisk that in and then put in half your cheese, saving half for the top. feel like a nice cheesy top on lasagna. And start layering up our lasagna. So you want about 1/3 of your meat or veg sauce in the bottom. And then your lasagna sheets. My top little trick on lasagna sheets, if you can see, is hold them on the edge of the bench and they should give you a nice straight snap. So pop those in there. Get a ladle, put about 1/3 of the sauce over. And then repeat those 2 layers. Right, and then pop some cheese on the top. So this is going to go in the oven for about 35-40 minutes until it's all bubbling and golden brown on the top and the pasta sheets are cooked. If like mine it's quite full, I recommend putting it on a baking tray. Won't affect the cooking, but it will catch all the cheesy bits. And there we go, into the oven. Right, my lasagna has had about 35 minutes in the oven. I've made a little bit of garlic bread too, and I've plated up a nice little bit of salad. So I'll get that plated up and enjoy that. Hi there, if you've cooked the lasagna today with me, thank you very much. If you've received one of our bags, I'd love to get some feedback and see what you've added, what you've done with your voucher, if you've done meat, if you've gone veg, whether you normally do what you've done. Yeah, let me know how it's gone. Email me at raee@educationfuturestrust.org. That's RAEE @educationfuturestrust.org. Okay, bye-bye.